Greetings, folks. Well, today I was just thinking about making a short video regarding the Gweike laser CO2 because there's been quite a few questions and me typing is not good. So hopefully this would solve some problem. And I don't have a really good setup because my main screen is over there, secondary is there, and the camera is there. So when I'm watching the screens and such, I don't look into the camera. But anyway, I have a setup that the camera is blocking from my view. So we just try and figure stuff out as I go. So it will be a little bit here, a little bit there, and you just need to take it for what it is. So the first thing I was actually trying to show is using the Gweike and Lightburn. And it's actually quite simple because when you are downloading Lightburn, you are using the DSP software. I think it was DSP. Anyway, it's DSP something. And when you've done that, when you are starting up Lightburn, you are prompted to choose your connection under devices. So let's see, I need to move. So in here, there's my head in the middle of the way. Let's see. Here we go. Under here, see devices, and I'm using COM3. Or you can choose auto. I always choose COM3 port. And there's my Gweike Cloud Pro Rudia 644XG. And there it will say further down here, found RDC644XG. So then I know it's been connected to my software. So what we can try and do, actually, because I have too many cameras to this old PC, I can't access my laser camera. It's up there. So I have to figure out how to place stuff regarding on the material I'm using in the machine. Down here you have different tabs, and all these tabs you will find under window up here. So you have art library, arrange modifiers, camera control. So here you can see what I have selected. So mainly what I'm using is cut, layers, move, and library. Those are the main tabs I have. And you can also go under edit, go into settings. Here you can put in or choose any selection you want to have. Like for CO2, it says better for CO2 and better for diode. I always use millimeter per second. Snap to grid. My visual grid spacing is 10 millimeter, and that's 1 centimeter. Shape movement increments. This is when you are moving your artwork. So when you are moving it with your arrow keys, this is the increments that you are setting. On standard, it's something totally different. So this you can all change. What else? We can go into device settings. Working area, working size, 510 by 300 millimeter. Work origin, upper right corner on this machine. And that's, I think it's only the first one I've changed actually. Additional settings, don't even bother messing around with those. Another thing you can take a look at if you are interested, go into the machine settings, and Lightburn will read the information from the laser. And this is just a checklist you can look at if you want. And I won't recommend you, if you don't really know what you're doing, to mess around in this, because this is the default setting from the fabric. So we don't mess around with those. So back to the cutting settings and such. Maybe I should go into library, just grab something easy. That is not the one I want. There is the one I want. Art library. I have it down here. So I have something called laser and art library equal. So we can go into that one maybe, or let's see what we can have. I want to find something easy. Maybe I should just go open. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. I can just take that one. See what you have. So this is my logo. Those two letters is Rune Norse letters. It's a T and a N for the Norseman. So this one is set on fill. So what I can do with this is actually just draw out another circle. So when you see this is like all over the place, but I want a straight circle, so I'm holding down Shift. There's a circle. I'm gonna put it on layer 2. And I'm just gonna put it over there. So now that is line. Everything else is fill. Air resist on. And I do have a 3mm acrylic in the machine, so we can see. You might be able to see that one. So that's the material, and I've taken over the cover for the laser, so we can see the laser head. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to figure out where is my artwork compared to the acrylic I have. So what I can do now is actually just, I'm on the main screen in Lightburn, and I selected my artwork, and I can press frame. So it's moving a frame around it. So it's quite big. This is 87 by 87 millimeter. That's a little bit too big. I don't actually want that. So I'm going down to 53.9. You can see that one. So I can still to use more of the acrylic, that this doesn't go to waste. Let's see. That should actually be good. So, as you can see, my artwork is in the upper corner where it were framing. And now I'm going to figure out how it's going to be cut out. So my settings would, I will double click on the first layer. So since this is a fill, I'm not going to cut it out. I want a higher speed. So on my settings, let's see. I can put it on, let's see, 200, and just use it 15. Lines per inch. That will be the PDI, that's what they call it. I've just set that 300, just for the fun of it. And as you see on this one, this is the starting area for the laser. It will start down left corner on the graphics, but I want to start up here. So I will go and change on the scan angle. So I will put it on 180 degrees. That will put a red green, sorry, dot on top right corner. So it just start up there and go zigzagging downwards. So I have set that one. I'm going into the red layer. That will be my cutting layer. I've preset on the speed 10 millimeter per second, and the power is 40/40. That is mainly just cutting out this circle. And I use air resist mainly on anything. So those have been set. You can press OK on that. So now I need to put in my material thickness. So on Gweike, they have a focus on 17. So you know, 17 minus the thickness of your material. So my material is 3 millimeter. So that will be 17 minus 3. That will be 14. So I'll go into material, Put that in 14. Maybe I should take the fill layer and go up a bit. Let's go 25 just to do it. Let's see. Wonder if it was in here. Dun, dun, dun. We should go in. I'm just trying to figure out where you were able to get the material settings here. And I actually can't remember if it came up by itself or you need to put it in there. So that's why I'm looking around. So as you can see guys, I'm not usually that good at instructional videos and such. So we are just figuring out as we go also. Yeah. You go into device settings. Under set control, you mark out the enable set axis and optimize set X. So then you are actually getting the material tab. We figured it out. Ain't that great? So now I'm back to setting up my graphics, cutting, engraving. Don't look at those because you can change whatever you want to call them. So I can just mark up here and say engraving and press OK, and it says up here engraving. I don't actually change those much, just sometimes when I have multiple layers will type in directional word for me to remember what it was. Anyhow, now we are actually ready, and in this program, for me, what I do every time when I'm going to do a work piece, for the machine to do my job, I'm always pressing start. I don't press send or going into movement and press anything in here. And by the way, I can see now what else you also need to change. In move, you need to change distance to 10 millimeter, speed 115.1 millimeter per second, and set speed to 50 millimeter per second. That's the recommended settings from Gweike. That was a very important information. Need to remember that. So when you have changed this, you actually don't need to use this move area anymore, other than maybe jogging the laser head sideways and up and down. But you actually don't need to do that either. Because what you can do over here on the left side, on the toolbar, you have a positioning marker. If you use that and press anywhere on this flat working area, the laser will move to that area. So that I can actually show you. So I'm going over to the laser head so you can see. So now I'm gonna use the positioning. And I can move it around like this. And when I'm done, or for example, I want to center, to figure out where is the center of my artwork, I can just press in the middle of the artwork. So now there it is. And when I'm all done, I just go pressing home. And the laser head will go back to the starting position home. And now I'm just going to press start. Now you see it lowering the laser head and starting the engraving. So you will see there is a lot of white dust on it. So this will engrave line by line everything at once. So it will actually take a while for it to do it. It's about 4 minutes, let's see. You can also do a preview just before you start this, just to see how much time it is. And you can also, after you start the job, you can go back and just press preview if you forgot how much time it's going to use. Something else you should actually do is make yourself a test piece for speed and power, so you have a reference. And there should actually be a test piece under file in the Facebook group for Gweike. So you actually can just run that and get a visual presentation of every settings we are running on different materials. And there we have the final cut. So let's see how it looks afterwards. When it's finished, it will retract the laser head, go back to the homing position. And the light on the Gweike laser will change. And I always just wait until it's turned off before I do anything. That was the wrong button. There we go. I don't actually have a big working place, so I'm really close to my laser and everything. Let's see. So that's the piece I had in the laser. This is the work piece that I wanted, and you see there's a lot of acrylic dust on it. So find a brush. Usually I use my vacuum. So the dust doesn't fly around and everything like that. But that's the finished piece, engraved and cut out. Oh, a lot of glare. And on this piece, it's having some shadings on it. With those, I can actually buff out. It's mainly just like what I use is a piece of leather. I just found it. This is just thick hide I use, or leather. And I just rub it where it is. Doesn't take much actually to take it off. You can see it now. It's all gone. So that is how I cut acrylic. And you see I don't use any manual settings, like I need to push the machine to working area or anything like that. And now I'm trying to figure out what else I was supposed to show you guys. So I need to find it. Was it this one? Yeah. So on the Facebook group at Gweike, you can go in. This is the top part of the page. So up here you have files. So in there you have a lot of files you can test out. Acrylic engraving test, and there is one test there. And there's some good people have been sharing all this and other stuff. So I hope this will help a little bit, especially to figure out the settings and how Lightburn actually works regarding setting up the thickness of your material for cutting and such. By the way, the tests that is on that page looks like this. You can't actually see that good. But here you can find the engraving setting for wood, especially. And this is the starting point. And you also have for acrylic. So you can see you have the engraving part for the acrylic, and then you have the cutting and the dimension of the holes and such. Very handy to have to reference on the material you're trying. So even if you are going thicker material, you have a starting point. But you should always do a test piece on everything you are using. And another thing, get a notebook. And here you can write down everything on your test. This is my test. It's only me that understand what this book says. And on the machine, the Gweike came with a piece of paper, thickness material for the focus. You can also go to Gweike webpage to look at the user manuals they have there. They have user manuals, they have the USB driver for Lightburn to be able to communicate with the Gweike. So use the web page, use the group of Gweike. There's a lot of information in there. And there's a lot of questions people have been asking that other people have answered. So look into there. Even in that Facebook group, type a keyword that's about your question. It might just show up because it's a part of a different question. So let's see if this video can be helpful and not too confusing, maybe. You never know. But other than that, I might just make another shorter video. This was actually half a minute, no, half an hour, not half a minute. That is quick. Anyhow, I think I'm done. Yeah, probably. See you later, guys. Have a good one.